Welcome back to Virtual Scanner Games. This video is about Game 5, Proton Scout Moves. In Game 5, you will see two main displays, the left one being the magnetization, which is the main vector we are tracking when looking at how MR signal is generated, and the right one is the signal we get at the end of the experiment. There are three main things you can turn on in this simulation. First is the main field. When you turn the main field on, a magnetization develops. You can also change the main field value to see how it affects the magnetization. The second thing is the RF pulse. What the RF pulse does is to rotate this magnetization to different degrees. The rotation can only happen when you turn the rotating frame on. So after turning this on, if you hit the tip button here, then you can see how the RF pulse rotates the magnetization vector. There are settings you can do to the RF pulse as well that will be explained in the lab manual instructions. The third thing is the receive coil. When the receive coil is turned on, we're listening to any kind of rotation happening in the XY plane. So, if we now turn off the rotating frame and be able to visualize the rotation, I have to start again. Then there will be a signal generated from this rotation that's displayed on the signal plot. This signal also changes depending on where your magnetization is in this 3D space. The main controls, 4 buttons here. The start generally means you're letting the spin or magnetization dynamics play out. The stop will stop the animation. The tip is specific to the RF pulse, so this is only for when you try to apply an RF pulse. There are messages that show you if there are any problems with the steps you're doing, and there's an convenient function here called set initial magnetization that allows you to get that orange vector to any place you want. So for example, you can change this according to the 3D spherical coordinate. So if you set a different theta, you can see the magnetization gets closer to the z-axis, things like that. So that's all the controls for this interface. The instructions will take you through the steps in a more detailed way, and there will be a challenge at the third move that asks you to rotate the vector from a set initial position to a goal target position using RF pulses. The definitions are also included, and there's a quiz.